knows a lot about the science stuff. Professor Dave explains.
The title for most diverse chordate order is not so clear, since the classification of animals is not set in stone. But with more than 11,000 species, the order Squamata is certainly a top contender, since their biodiversity count outnumbers the entire class Mammalia with under 7,000, Amphibia with around 8,000, and possibly even rivals that of Aves, with between 9,500 and 11,000 species. Though the Squamates do not have as wide a diversity of forms as the mammals, their sheer number of species makes them a challenge to catalog. In this tutorial, we'll go over their evolutionary history, followed by their general characteristics. Modern squamates, along with Rhynchocephalia, belong to the subclass Lepidosauria, which is often considered a sister clade of the archosaurs, which includes the dinosaurs and crocodiles. The two groups likely diverged in the Permian period, and some of the earliest stem squamates seem to have appeared in the Triassic, though there are a great deal more squamates in the Middle Jurassic, and their diversification really explodes in the Cretaceous, and even more so in the Cenozoic. Modern squamates range in size from the diminutive dwarf and pygmy geckos to the massive reticulated and Burmese python and green anaconda. In addition to their large overlapping keratinous scales and periodic molting, members of this clade are also distinguished by their movable quadrate bones that provide them with kinetic skulls, allowing them to move the upper jaw in addition to the lower jaw so that they can grasp and crush prey, or in the case of the snakes, swallow whole prey much larger than their skulls without chewing. Snakes, members of Serpentes, are able to accomplish this because they can independently move their upper and lower jaws, but they can also independently move the two halves of their lower jaws, which are connected only by flexible tissues. This, combined with their backwards-facing teeth, allows snakes to expand their mouths a great deal and walk their jaws over their prey. They breathe during the process by thrusting their tracheal opening forward between their disjointed mandibles. In addition to their limbless bodies and highly kinetic skulls, snakes are also noted for their lack of movable eyelids that are protected by a transparent membrane known as a spectacle and generally reduced eyeball mobility, along with their forked tongue that they use to collect chemical signals for smell and taste, that they pass to their vomeronasal organ, VNO, or Jacobson's organ. This is actually a shared characteristic of all squamates, though its morphology and utility differs by clade, and is often especially developed in members with a split or forked tongue, such as the monitors and snakes, where it is also split, allowing them to determine the location of prey and predators, depending on which side of their tongue certain particles accumulate. This mechanism is often so effective that it is one of the dominant squamate senses, especially in many snakes that often have poor vision and poor hearing. Though some squamates, especially the geckos, have visible and highly sensitive ear holes, others, such as the snakes, lack external ears. However, they are capable of hearing with internal ears, and they are sensitive to vibrations. Hearing in general is not a dominant sense in the squamates, and many species such as the chameleons, iguanas, monitors, and arboreal snakes have highly developed vision in addition to or instead of highly developed smell or taste. Since most squamates are predatory, or at least insectivorous, they have developed a range of movement styles. Though most are quadrupedal and run with a strong side-to-side motion, some species, such as the basilisks and frilled lizard, are capable of running for short distances on their hind limbs. The snakes have four primary movement types that vary by taxa: serpentine, or lateral undulation, which is the most common form of movement and requires surface irregularities; concertina motion, that is often used in climbing and passing through cramped areas; caterpillar or rectilinear motion, that is mainly used by large constrictors; and sidewinding, that is used by desert vipers. One final unique characteristic of the squamates is their reproduction. Males are noted for their hemipenis that they keep inverted within their cloaca except during mating, which is internal like all amniotes. Though most squamates are oviparous, in that they lay shelled elliptical leathery eggs, others are viviparous, in that they give birth to live young. Many of these, such as the geckos, monitors, and many vipers, are ovoviviparous, in that the young are held in eggs within the mother's body and receive nourishment from the yolk alone, but some, like the skinks, nourish their young via a placenta, which is functionally similar to, though morphologically distinct from, the mammalian placenta. Viviparity is a derived characteristic in the squamates that is thought to have evolved over 100 times. And that summarizes many of the unique attributes of this large order. But we're not done with the reptiles yet. Let's go over the diversity of the extant squamates next.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel for more tutorials. Support me on Patreon so I can keep making content. And as always, feel free to email me, ProfessorDaveExplains@gmail.com.